Today I'm here with Anton. How are you doing today, Anton?
Hello, Bense. Thanks, I'm doing good. And you?
I'm doing well as well. It's just a super hot day here in Frankfurt, but we are here to talk about our upcoming event, Serpent Moon, and tell you a bit about our highlights for the event.
As you know, the Serpent Moon is coming, and probably it will be our biggest and longest event so far.
Yeah, and the event will also feature our brand new mechanics and systematic changes as well to progression. And we will also have a developer live stream later today, so make sure to tune into that for more information and to ask all your questions. But without further ado, let's dive into Serpent Moon. But before we dive into all the changes, let's talk about how these events are made. Could you tell us about them?
Basically, it's quite, long and interesting process between many different departments. So, let's say we have game design, we have live design, we have narrative, we have artists, coders, and every people who are involved in the development. So, how it usually works is that we came up with a specific concept about the event, and as you can see recently, we had this moon theme. It started with the previous event. So basically, the narrative came up with a concept, and then we developed that further with the live design and game design to basically cover all the parts regarding this event.
The community has been asking for new gameplay changes in our events. So could you tell us why we haven't changed anything so far and what we can expect from Serpent Moon?
The thing is that developing the whole event, it might seem as a very easy thing to do, but in fact it requires a lot of people, just to sit together and work together. So it's in fact it's a very massive process. Sometimes we just have other priorities or maybe other features to develop. So it's all about the team bandwidth and stuff. But we always considered our events as some kind of a playground or something where we can experiment and try something out. So you could see that from the live design perspective, maybe with the past events. Now we are finally at this point where we can try and experiment maybe more with the gameplay changes as well as with the live design changes.
I'm really happy to hear that, and I'm sure the community will appreciate it as well. But then could you tell us about the new gameplay changes in this event?
A lot of our players are already familiar with the concept that we had in a previous event where you basically had to collect stuff and destroy this object. So with this event, I wouldn't say that it's completely different from that, but we added one very interesting feature in there that hopefully will change the gameplay perception and the way how people do play the game. Instead of these standard objects that people are used to destroy, we will have snake dance. So it's like snake baskets or something with snakes inside. Players will have to communicate or interact maybe with these snakes, and they have to approach them very carefully, just not to scare them, because if you approach them really fast, they work, somewhat similar to horses or maybe crows, so you need to do it, very, very sneaky, in a sneaky way.
So this snake basket sounds really cool and very interactive for the players, but could you also tell us how you actually earn points in this event?
As I mentioned, with this snake dance or snake baskets, basically you need to approach them and interact them with very carefully, because they actually can bite you and you can get poisoned. If you carefully approach them and interact with them, you can get event points as usual, but this poisonous effect, it's not the only gameplay thing that we have. So together with the event points, you also can get snake tokens.
Snake tokens? Okay, that sounds completely new. What can you do with the tokens that you get?
So with these snake tokens, basically you cannot just extract from the mission with them, because in this case you will just lose them. To get event points out of these snake tokens, you need to deliver them to the altars and sacrifice these snakes on this altar. These altars, they are placed very close to the boss compounds, boss layers. By doing this, we are trying to influence the core gameplay a little bit. Everything is designed in a way to kind of navigate people through the level towards the final goal. And basically the final goal for the game is to kill the boss, get the bounty, and extract from the mission. By collecting the snakes, basically our players will have to go towards the boss layer and potentially fight, meet other people.
It will be very fun to see how it changes the whole flow of the game and how it creates more encounters close to the boss compounds. But what about PvP? So how can players earn points by interacting with each other?
For example, if you are killed and another hunter tries to loot you, he will get not only event points, but also all the snakes that you collected before. By doing this, we also try to, spice up a little bit this interaction between players.
Yeah, this definitely encourages more PvP in general.
Absolutely.
To get all the tokens you can get.
Yes, that's true. But again, it's not the only two. So snake baskets and enemy hunters, they are not the only sources for event points. As usual, we will have our classic clues. And for killing bosses, for example, you also will get event points and snakes as well.
All the gameplay changes sound really fun, and I also can't wait to try them out myself. But for more detailed insight, please tune into our dev stream later, where we'll explain everything and show examples of each of these mechanics Anton just mentioned. But that's not the only things we changed with this event. We also overhauled the whole progression. So could you tell a bit about that, Anton, how that works this time?
So yeah, that's true. The gameplay is not the only thing that we changed. So for the first time ever in Hunt, we are introducing the Battle Pass system. And this thing is kind of new for us. We never tried that, but that's also kind of experiment for us. And we will see how it works. But basically, so to explain a little bit how it works, we will have two different progressions. One is free, another one is Gilded Path. Everyone can get all the rewards from the free progression for free, just by playing the game. So they collect event points, they progress. So at any point, within your progression, for example, you are at level 10 in the progression, you can just purchase the Gilded Path access. And with this Gilded Path access, you can unlock everything that you already get from previous levels. So if you're on the level 10, you can get everything from level 1 to level 10, basically. That's how it works.
The Gilded Path Battle Pass system sounds very interesting, and we are excited to hear your feedback as well. As we mentioned, this is our biggest and longest event so far, so players will have actually 60 days to complete the progression, so you'll have a bunch of time during the summer to finish this event. And I also heard that there's a lot of rewards this time. Could you tell us about that?
Well, event will be, quite long. And it's actually our first take, so we're trying to go towards, season system or something like that. It's a little spoiler, but So yes, for this event, first of all, we will have two brand new weapons. The Sparks pistol and the Romero 77 Alamo. We will have more than 1000 blood bonds in this progression. Also, we will have 9 new legendary items, weapons and tools and consumables. So
a lot of new stuff to play around.
I think we never had that many, for the event. Never. And we will have the first evolving hunter. It has 4 different stages. You just play the game normally, you progress through the event to unlock these stages. And every stage of this hunter looks, more and more badass. It actually, corresponds a little bit with the story itself, because we also have a big story for this event. And, I know that we had the story in a previous event, so this story is kind of, follow the same idea, and probably will know more about, characters that you already know, and maybe about the Mr. Cherry himself.
I can already hint that the new hunter will be called Viper, and they are super cool, so it's gonna be a lot of fun to play with them and try them out in the bayou. And the story is gonna continue the story of the previous event, Serpent Moon, and Serpent Moon will be here. We'll have actually a lot of videos to show you guys explaining the story as well, so please check that out, and also within the game read the lore, because we have a lot of great stories to tell within Hunt. So now we have learned all about the gameplay changes, the progression changes in the Serpent Moon, but Hunt always has some sort of booster mechanics added to its events. So could you tell us about how these will work in Serpent Moon?
Yeah, so for this event, I mean, everyone who played our previous event, the Trader Moon, there's like not that many changes in terms of, you know, boosters and stuff. So we will have our standard classic Cherries contract, and we will have 4 hunters, 4 legendary hunters, to boost your event points even more. 2 of them will be DLC hunters. The first one would be the Witch Hunter from the They Came From Salem DLC, and another one would be the Prescient from the Prescient Night DLC, which will be released together with the event. But we also will have 2 Bloodborne hunters, and these 2 Bloodborne hunters would be the Night Seer, who was, I think, one of the first Bloodborne content, right? In the game?
If I'm not wrong, I think he was released with the 1.0 release of the game.
Yeah. And the second one would be Hail Mary. So with these hunters, you will get some extra points. What else? We will have Signee trait. Also, like, some of our players are already familiar with that. It's just a special event trait which will be available only during the event, and it will also boost your event points and will increase the dark side range a little bit, so you will find you know, the event objects a bit easier. And beside that, we will have 3 more event, not really event unique, but 3 traits that we usually have in game, but they will be boosted for the event. So these traits would be the Serpent trait, and it will help you to sacrifice your snakes to the altars, you know, from the distance. The other one would be the Poison Sense, which will help you to track enemy hunters, poisoned enemy hunters from bigger distance. And the last one would be the Beast Face, and the Beast Face will help you to approach the snake dances, you know, much faster and, you know, maybe with a less chance of like being poisoned.
I'm kind of seeing a theme here. All these traits are connected to the poison thing, so that is definitely very fitting for Serpent Moon. So we heard all about the Serpent Moon event now, how the progression works, about all the gameplay changes, all the cool rewards. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Actually, yes. So some of our players, they're already familiar with this like overspill system. Basically, when you complete the event and you get all the rewards from the event, you could still play to, you know, get a bit more event points and get some $100 in return. So for this event, we decided to make this thing a little bit more challenging and maybe competitive. So we introduced this Cherries Hunter thing. Basically, it works as a leaderboard, and you need to earn event points to, you know, like get higher. So basically, there are like different tops for players, like top 1, top 5, top 25, top 50, top 75. But depending on like how many event points you have, you can be in a, you know, different top. So we're using this system to basically give some extra rewards for players, and it's, you know, like in-game currency, like $100 and a little bit of blood bonds as well. But we deliberately didn't add any you know, unique extra content there, because we still want to keep this leaderboard as, you know, like just the optional thing for these people who maybe, you know, like want to challenge themselves and challenge other people, and to, you know, be in this leaderboard. And
that sounds great. It's an extra layer of challenge for some people that are interested in after completing the event, of course. But with that being said, we came to the end of this video. Thank you, Anton, for joining me and explaining everything about the event. And make sure to leave your questions in the comments below and all your feedback as well. We'll have the dev stream coming up very soon, and we will try to answer as many questions as possible. We will also have a more in-depth insight for all the gameplay changes and mechanics as well, and you can take a closer look at the rewards too. And we will have a Q&A section at the very end too, where we can go into details about your questions as well. Again, thank you, Anton.
Thank you, Benz.
Thank you, everyone, and see you in the bayou.